Salaam alaikum, alhamdulillah, Rahman Ta'ala, all the true Muslim brothers and sisters out there. This is the King of New Jersey. This is BTBTV. We bully the bullies. I'm the honorable host, born divine almighty Allah. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. I sent a link to Cross Your Heart podcast by Cross Your Heart, you know what I'm saying? So he should be up here soon. Let's talk about this Diddy situation, man. He's found guilty of 2 of the 5 charges. It's looking like he'll be out, man. The max he probably could get him, both of them charges 5 years, but that's on a federal grounds. State grounds is different, man. So everybody talking about, oh, he's gonna get time served. It's not a state charge, it's a federal charge. All these charges are federal. So let's get that, let's put that in perspective, you know what I'm saying? It's not a state charge. In a state charge, he'll probably be home today. But it's a federal charge. 2 federal charges he's found guilty for. So he's going to get sentenced by the feds. He will be sentenced by the feds, not the state. So, like I said, Dwayne Coleman, salute, my boy. Mess Chamberlain, salute, you know what I'm saying? Mess, you know what I'm saying? Mess in this motherfucker. Yo, man.
Peace.
Yo, I only can have one person up there. So, you know, you always my call, so you know you gotta come up here and speak your piece on the shit, man. Shout out to my boy Jakim Muhammad, the mom
shout
the
out Ja in the building. Shout out. Yeah, it's crazy. Y'all see that. The verdict has came down, and even Ja was saying it, you know what I'm saying? So my thing is, hey man, what y'all think about that? Because at the end of the day, I mean, I know how you feel about.
Hold on, but I'm gonna tell you something. This is a federal case. It's not a state case. The feds have all these charges. So so we could say we could go by state statutes, you know what I'm saying? But this is a federal statute. So
yeah, but when I looked it up, the New York thing, and I put in for the engagement of prostitution, there is no federal statute in the engagement. That's why they said the serious charges. So it's going to be dropped down to
listen, the Mann Act 2 counts.
Okay.
The Mann Act 2 counts. That's federal, bro. I was locked up with people that had the Mann Act in the feds, bro.
Right.
So that's a federal charge. The nigga I was locked up, the nigga name was Dollar Bill. And the nigga did 10 years for prostitution, bro, in the feds. That was a federal charge. Now the state, it'd be different. The state, he probably had time served, but since it's the feds, he gonna get like 5 at least, bro. If you don't get 5, you know what I'm saying, they being generous, bro.
So you think he might get the 5?
He might get the 5. He might get at least the 5, bro.
Well, I know people said minimum. At first, they were saying on them charges could be a minimum of 15, but I don't know because it is 2 counts. You know what I'm saying? I'm just curious to see what he on, because again, somebody was saying and shout out to Coleman, Dwayne. He said they could be releasing today. I guess going to Miami. That's where he lives at.
Bro, that's not gonna happen, bro. Because the Fed spent too much money on this case, bro. He gonna do something, bro.
Yeah.
The Feds are different from the state. John the builder, shout out to John. Salute John. Yo, the Feds are a whole totally different animal.
So somebody said he facing 20 years.
Rick Gotti said he facing 20 years. Yeah. The Mann Act 2 counts. The Mann Act is a federal statute that they gave to Jack Johnson. Remember when they put Jack Johnson away for them years in prison?
Yeah, for the track, but I thought they got him for the interstate, the whole interstate trafficking.
Termed the what up gangsta salute.
See what I'm saying? I'm just curious to see what they gonna really say from it. I mean, so you seeing that he gonna end up getting at least Salute everybody coming in the
Big
building.
BX
Y'all make
salute,
sure y'all
yo.
smash that like button too
Yo,
coming in the
facts.
building.
Smash that like button, man. Hit that
Smash
subscribe
that
and shit.
Smash
Word up,
that
man.
like button. So yeah, I don't know. I just think at the end of the day, I don't know if, again, my thing is I don't want to see people in jail. You know what I'm saying?
None of us do, bro. But if you do something like that, bro, you gotta think about it. That's still federal record. That's still a federal charge, man.
He said somebody said 10 years each count.
Okay.
The judge, and they said time served, and then somebody said 10 years on each count.
Yo, we only send one link at a time up here.
Send him the link, and I'm gonna step down because I want to hear what Ja got to say.
All right, hold on. All right, go ahead.
Send him the link.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can send the link. Hold on. Let me see if I can send the link. Hold on. Let me see if I can send the link real quick. Hold on 1 second.
I think can't you join 3?
Nah. Let me see. Let me see. Hold up. Nah, I had to send a link in the beginning of the show.
Hold on. Let me see if I can send it to him. Hold on.
We got 10 years on each count. The judge could stack them. Did you send the link?
Yeah, I sent it to him. Let me see if he can come on. Let's see if he can pop in there. Let's see if he pop in. He's still facing a significant amount of time. Yeah. I mean, you can say that too. That's what I'm saying. Salute Mac Mizzle in the building. Bigger BX. Salute. Yeah, I think he's still facing some time.
Yeah, we echo, but you gotta come in and come back out.
Yeah, I'm gonna let John see if John can come on.
All right. Yeah. He's still facing a significant amount of time. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know what's gonna happen. What we do know is he's found guilty of two of the unfiled charges. DB, salute, Queen, peace. See you in the building. Peace to the God of Mac Mizzle. Yeah, man. I'm back, yo. But yeah, man. I sent the link. We're gonna see if Jack can get in here, man, because I was able to send but one link. You know what I mean? So Cross, he sent the other link. So hopefully he can get in here, get Jack in this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Well, like I said, man. This dude, man, everybody's saying he's not guilty and all this. But they found him guilty of two of the 5 charges. These are federal charges. These are not state charges. So y'all don't get him Mr. Screw, you know, Mr. Screw, man, because they're federal charges, not state charges. State charges, he'll be home today. Federal charges, he got to pay them boys back the money they used for this trial. So they're gonna use him as an example. Two charges in the Mann Act. That's dealing with prostitution going past state lines. We got it, facts, yo. We got supposed to been give you your admin, your rich, bro. You got it now, bro. I'm supposed to been gave it to you. My bad, but yeah, he's how old is he? He's 55 years old with facing 20 years. That's basically life. Let's say it like that. That's basically life, yo. So how many here think Puffy is guilty? How many here think Sean Carter is guilty of the Mann Act? At least. Yo, Cross. He didn't come through, man. So come back up, bro, if you can, so we can see. I want to know how many people think he's guilty of the Mann Act. Well, tell him to bring his ass up there, man. We don't got all day to go to work today. Yeah, nigga. I did this on spur of the moment. You know what I'm saying? Just for a little bit. Y'all smash that like though, like we got. He said, man. Short and sweet, man. I ain't gonna be up here all day. Gotta be at work tonight. So a Negro need a nap. He's guilty because he paid for the flights and he paid for the sexual entertainment. Once you pay a person for sexual intercourse, that makes you guilty. That makes it the Mann Act. That makes it a sex trafficking charge. For the Mann Act, brother. Yeah. Once you pay a person some money to have consensual sex, that's considered the Mann Act. You pay money for sex. It was a federal charge. Like I said, I was locked up with niggas in the feds who charge was less than this with the Mann Act, and they got 10 years easy. Mm-hmm. My nigga Dollar Bill, what's the other nigga name that was locked up? I can't remember this nigga name. But he was a big pimp in Jersey too. And they both have federal cases, bro. Yeah. We was in the feds together. And the niggas going down for like 10 years, 15 years apiece, bro. So don't be stupid, man. And the Plug Podcast by Cross Your Heart. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the Plug Podcast by Cross Your Heart, man. Like I said, I ain't gonna be up here long. I'm just being here long enough to let people know that he's not innocent. He didn't win the case. He only beat three. He only beat three of the charges. Yo, DB said just pay the chick's rent instead of giving her money. Yo, but that's still considered financial payments. Real talk, DB. D to the B to the D. Yo, that's still considered. That's still considered financing. You know what I'm saying? That money thing, that money trail is crazy. Yeah, he did the 50 BM. Word up. He did the 50 BM, and then he told 50 BM, if you don't do what I say, I'm gonna send these videos to your baby father. That's extortion. That's a part of the Mann Act. Extortion is a part of the Mann Act. Tell John, go ahead and shave that bald head and come on before I get off, man. I'm about to off this in a few minutes, man. I just want to let everybody know that he wasn't found innocent on every charge. He's found guilty to the charges. In a federal court, the two man charges that gives you at least 10 years each charge. Even they run that shit concurrent. It's 10 years altogether. So he can do 5 to 10 years, man. So all you puffy, you Diddy life, you Ciroc boys, this don't mean your homeboy is free, man. It just mean He bought himself some time. He got 9 months served. Sentencing don't take that long. Hold on 1 second. Sentencing is not that quick.
Peace to the God.
Peace, God. Yo, you got to take it off your phone. You got to take it off your computer, yo.
Do what?
Your computer is echoing. You got something on your TV?
Oh shit! Is it echoing now?
Nah, it's good now.
All
Nah.
right.
D to the B to the D. He been in jail 9 months so far. Yeah, he been in jail 9 months so far. They ain't get no 9 months served. It's federal. This federal court. It's not state court. If it was state court, this nigga be home right now.
But those are state charges, though. The
No, they're not.
prosecution is.
They federal charges, bro. Still, the Mann Act is federal charges, bro. That's what I'm telling y'all. I've been in the federal. I told you I was locked up. My man Dollar Bill, bro. He got the Mann Act, and he did 10 years for one count of the Mann Act in the feds. What the feds do, the feds get the charge is different than the states get a charge. Now, say they check it out. I rob a bank, right? And the state picked the bank robberies up. The state might give me 10 years. But when the feds take it from the states, the feds might give me 5 years. When a Mann Act charge for the state, they could give you 6 months to a year to 5 years. And the feds, the minimum is 10 years.
Well, he dealing with 2 counts of prostitution.
Yeah.
So
that's the Mann Act.
So right. So
look
it's really
look up the Mann Act of feds. Look at the Mann Act for the
right.
feds.
It's really 2 counts of prostitution. So what's the maximum they can give them for that?
And the Mann Act for the feds, that's the Mann Act. The Mann Act for the feds, 2 counts of prostitution is 10 years each count. That's federal. That's not state.
Well, I thought those prostitution charges was state.
No, they federal.
So
everything's feds. State that had nothing to do with this case. That's what I was telling you earlier when we was talking. The state that had nothing to do with these cases, bro. It's all federal cases.
Sure?
Yeah. Even look, Cross just said it. Minimum 10 years. That's a Mann Act for the feds. It got nothing to do with the state, bro. It's a federal case. State don't got nothing to do with the feds, bro.
Now we're gonna see though what he's charged with, because those two charges, I'm not sure.
2 charges of Mann Act. That's prostitution. 2 charges of Mann Act is prostitution, bro.
Right? Is that the charge that he got, or is he charged
that's the charge.
Simple prostitution?
No, he charged with the Mann Act.
Okay. I just didn't see that. That's all. I just didn't see that. So I'm just trying to question whether or not that his charge, or was this state prostitution?
No state.
Since you said it was federal,
it's federal.
Then that changes the dynamic of how he's sentenced.
Reed Gotti said the Mann Act is federal. I know. I was with pimps. I was with pimps to the Fed, bro. I know. Them pimps to the Fed, they was giving them pimps years like they was drug dealers, which is crazy.
Well, it's the same setup, same systematical setup. Like, you are who you are, where you at, the way you are.
Yo, you see these traps, guy? Look at these traps, right? You see these traps, Lord? I ain't even working out like that. Look at them traps, guy. Look at them traps. Them traps are getting right, bro. Not working out. They say he was just released. Freeze Pop Bobby.
He was released.
That's what somebody said. They say he was just released.
I hope so. Like they can't hold me.
Hold on one second.
And once you get your verdict, you gotta do something. You gotta let them go. You gotta give me bail. Once I get the verdict, you gotta give me bail.
But he still got them 2 charges.
Yeah, but you still got to give me bail just on that alone. Once you give me the verdict, I got to get bail, especially if I haven't been convicted of most serious crimes. I mean, shit. Well, let's see what the sentence is going to be then. because the sentence matter. My point is that we as a people should have more of a cultural fortitude when it comes to our accused. We shouldn't be so quick to condemn those amongst us that are accused by those that aren't. And I believe that that media trick by putting his fight with Cassie on on the media a month before they actually charged him, they want to lace the community with a mentality against him. And when you see a man fighting a woman, it's automatic no, it's automatic wrong. So when you put that in the mind of the people and then you take him to court for these charges, naturally you're going to get this reaction. But we should be smarter by now. Like Tulsa, Oklahoma ain't teach us nothing. South Carolina ain't teach. North Carolina didn't teach us anything. Rosewood didn't teach us anything. Illinois didn't teach us anything. We keep condemning our own at the behest of the enemy. So, inshallah, I hope he's being released because we already know where the fight was at. The fight was
Who
with that
wax piece of
lawsuit.
wax?
$1 billion lawsuit. That's where that fight was at. The fight was with that black political party that he created. That's where that fight was.
Yo, the plug Cross said they say he might get 10 years probation.
Hey, you already know what that leads to. You know what that leads to? What, Feds ain't got no probation?
Feds do got probation. Feds are probation now. They ain't federal. Feds don't got parole. They got probation now, bro.
Shit.
I was on federal probation.
That's some new
we
shit.
had no parole. We had no parole. We had federal probation, bro. That's what I'm telling you.
That's a new name for it. Parole, probation.
Yeah.
Same position.
In the feds, when I first did my case and shit, when they convicted me, they said I was gonna have federal probation. There ain't no more federal parole. Federal parole, that was taken off because that was 65. Federal parole was when you was getting 65%. Federal probation 85% of your time. So they took federal parole off. So there's no more federal parole. It's only federal probation now.
Yeah, see, that's that next level shit.
Yeah.
Word up, because I think that, you know, he won, he didn't open his mouth. He didn't get in there talking about the connections. Two, he knows that they ain't had real shit on him. So he was hoping that the courts or God would give him grace, and he got it. My point to us is that we should be more diligent behind our participation in supporting our own, rather than being so condemning to those of us that's accused by the enemy. Enemy been accusing us. We just been
hold up, D to the BD. Yeah, he gonna throw a big party. He gonna throw one of them puffy white parties, boy.
No, he ain't. No, he ain't. Puff ain't stupid. He ain't messing with the niggas no more. See, he seen what happened. He seen what happened. Everybody ran away.
The trial is over. He got convicted of 2 of the 5 charges. He got convicted of 2 of the Mann charges, the Mann Act, the Jack Johnson Act. Do you remember they gave Jack Johnson that time for the Mann Act and the feds? So he gonna get federal time. We just don't know how much he gonna get.
Yeah, they made Jack Johnson marry a white woman. They was gonna leave his ass locked up and was gonna take everything from him if he ain't married a woman in order to prove that she wasn't a prostitute. I remember that.
Nigga, you don't remember that shit, nigga? Who wasn't born then, nigga? Who wasn't
nigga, I
born
remember
then?
the history. I remember the history.
I remember the history too, bro.
I'm a professional fighter that studied that man since I was 14. Bruh, so I know what the record says.
My old guy made sure I studied all the black legends, bro.
Then you should know about him.
That's the same charge.
Because he's a real legend.
Yo, that's the same charge that R. Kelly got, the Mann Act.
Well, yeah. I thought he had sex trafficking and rape.
No, he had the Mann Act. That's prostitution.
Because they gave him a I know sex trafficking and it was
That the sex trafficking is the Mann
That's
Act.
what got him that 30 years.
The Mann Act, bro.
But a man that can't be both. It can't be prostitution and sex trafficking. Those are two different crimes. And there's no such thing as an umbrella law, because that's
Listen,
no law at
the
all.
Mann Act is sex trafficking and prostitution, bro. That's one and the same, bro. Look it up. Sex trafficking is prostitution.
See, there's a definition for prostitution. So you can create a definition for sex trafficking.
Hold on. The Mann Act is made. The Mann Act made it a crime to transport women across state lines for the purpose of prostitution or debauchery or any other immoral purpose.
Right, any other immoral purpose.
Or any other immoral purpose.
The wording, right, the wording of law is important. See, who deems it to be moral? Immoral men? Men without integrity, moral integrity? Who deems those acts to be moral? That's my point about Puff. If he's doing the same thing we do when we leave a club on Friday night or Saturday night, going,
we ain't transporting to another state, bro.
Yes, we do. When you go from Philadelphia to New Jersey, from New Jersey to New York, you're transporting from state to state.
All right, that's different. We ain't do
that. That's the fact. That's called interstate transportation.
We don't got money. We don't got the money that Puff got. So we ain't
got the money Puff got, but we done lived everything that Puff doing. We done had a version of it in our lives. If you was out in the street, can't tell me that when we was hustling, bro, that having a woman from the club going to a damn hotel wasn't the thing we did every weekend like clockwork. It was a routine.
Yo,
some niggas had wives at home doing that.
Said debauchery was the problem. The debauchery, the drugs, the threatening. That's what's gonna get him his time on a Mann Act.
Well, bro, I don't care about none of that stuff now because he ain't got the stuff that he didn't do, which is the RICO charge. Like all of the stuff they was putting in front of him for 30 years. See, sex trafficking. He ain't get that. See, that's why prostitution and sex trafficking in the law are two different things. I told you the wording of the law is important. So I'm just glad he didn't get no 30 to life, bro, for fighting these devils.
What devils are you talking about?
I'm talking about white supremacy.
We talking about the Anglo-Saxons? The Anglo-Saxons?
I'm talking about white supremacy, the ideology
you talking about the Anglo-Saxons.
Hey, they are a part. They're a member included in the brood of white supremacy. Yes, I'm talking about the ideology that run this world, this planet that we live on. And that's who he challenged. And when he challenged that, they came against him. And those of us that are just white people in brown and black skin claiming to be that, we really aren't that. We're just white people running around here acting like white people. No, I happen to be a black man and I'm wise enough to know.
In the federal case, the prostitution is the Mann Act, and that carries more times than the state. So
if it's a federal case, I need to look it up and see if it's a
federal case.
Yeah, I wanted to see if he was charged with prostitution on the federal statute.
Debauchery is behavior involving sex, drugs, alcohol, etc. That is often considered immoral.
Mm-hmm. Once again, we go to that wording. See that? Considered immoral. Who makes the judgment on what's moral and what's immoral? Is it immoral men? Yeah, immoral men making a judgment on what should be right. Wrongful men making a judgment on what should be right. That's what we should really be addressing every time we deal with an accusation in their courts.
But y'all, check this out, y'all. I gotta take it down because I go to work at 7 p.m. I gotta give me some rest. But yo, I just wanted to bring this up, do a little quick 30 minutes on it. We're gonna do a live on this on Friday, yo. So let's get it popping.
You already know, God.
Peace to the God.
Peace to the God.